Guys, good morning. Yes, that's the energy. Well, welcome to our amazing product launch. Also, all the people watching us live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, a warm welcome to you guys as well. And if you are seeing this video on TikTok, that probably means that it's been recorded and we kind of messed up somewhere. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm Anuj and I lead marketing at Xiaomi India. This is a very, very special launch for us, and we are obviously celebrating this with some of our core Mi fans as well. So let me get straight to it. But there is a key surprise right at the end of the launch. So you want to probably hang around, especially for those people who are watching us live, for about 25 to 30 minutes. Depends on how much time Manu takes. But there is something that you wouldn't want to miss. So let's get started. Before we start, these are the hashtags for today. So we're using 2 hashtags. I would request all of you to use these hashtags when you're tweeting or writing about it. It'll be really helpful for us. So let's get started. A couple of key updates. We recently finished our Diwali first week sales. It has been absolutely incredible. We've had amazing results, something that at least we never thought were possible. In just that first week, we did 5.3 million devices overall. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. When you start breaking this down, it's absolutely staggering because for that entire week, we were selling 525 devices every minute. So from the time I came onto the stage, at that speed, we would have sold already 1,000 plus devices. It was that quick. But what was also very dear and near to us is the number that we got on our smartphones. We sold 3.8 million smartphones, which incidentally is a new record for the Indian smartphone industry. It beats the previous record by more than 50%. Do you know what the previous record was? And who held it? Correct. So the previous record was actually Xiaomi India in 2018. That itself was an unbelievable number. But compared to that, this year we saw a 50% jump. It was absolutely amazing. Of course, we had all those amazing devices. The Note 7S, the Note 7 Pro did exceedingly well. The K20 series continues to do really well. But we also recently announced a new device, and that got an amazing reception. We announced the new Redmi 8A. It, what we believe, is the new benchmark for what an entry-level device should be, right? And that's why we called it Desh Ka Damdar smartphone. There are 8 reasons why people really loved it, right from the battery, supporting Type-C, supporting a fast charge, something that you didn't really expect in an entry-level device, to an amazing design. And I don't know if how many people have seen it already. I must urge you, you must go and see this. The Aura Wave Grip design on this is absolutely amazing. But not just that, we got in performance, we got in an amazing camera with the large pixel size, and it also comes with the crowd favorite, which is the wireless FM radio. And of course, the Redmi protection. So it's covered with P2I, it's got Gorilla Glass. So overall, a complete Damdar package. And of course, the media's loved the Redmi 8A. Right from the beginning, Mr. Phone called it completely loaded. While India Today group loved the design. They absolutely loved the design, and we actually sent them the sunset red because I think that's an amazing color, and they absolutely loved it. Gaurav at Technical Guruji, he called it amazing design with an awesome battery. And of course, I think BGR sums it the best. Just says, packs a punch, right? And it does that. But not just that, our fans have also loved it. They've loved the battery, they've loved the support for fast charging coming in, Type-C, the amazing camera sensors. Overall, it has been really, really well received. And the 8A was sold out during the Diwali with Me first wave. We are working towards getting more, and we will go on sale again pretty soon. Now that brings us to today's launch, which is the Redmi 8. So let me start off with the first part that you are going to love about the Redmi 8. It is what we are calling the camera champion. Yes, it supports a AI dual camera coming in. And not just any dual camera, it's a 12 megapixel dual camera with f-stop ratio of f1.8. Right? This is something that you saw on flagships just a year back. Right? It's absolutely amazing there. And it's a large pixel size as well. Along with that, it's dual PD or dual autofocus pixels, which means it lets you focus a lot faster. Let me deep dive into each of these things. So with the f1.8 aperture, means the lens size is bigger, which also means it lets in a lot more details and a lot more light coming in into the sensor, which obviously means that if you've got more details, you get better images. Along with that, the 1.4 micron pixels means that you're getting 25% more light getting captured on the sensor. Overall, it gives you amazing results. No surprises for guessing? It's having a Sony IMX363 sensor. So, we absolutely love the sensor. We started using the sensor with the Mi Mix 2S. From there, of course, our friends over at Poco used it on the F1 and got some amazing results. And you see that incredibly on the Redmi 8 coming in. And of course, what you do get is the detailing. If you look at this particular image, now this particular image is indoor with outdoor light or sunlight coming in. And it's able to capture all the details. Even if you look at the corners where that wood paneling is there, you can see each and every layer of that paneling very clearly. And it's as good as where the light is a lot more. And if you kind of pixel peep, you can even realize that all the details have been kept in perfectly. Right? So that's obviously the magic of a bigger lens and a larger sensor coming into play. But what you also get is high dynamic range. From all the people in Bangalore, you would recognize where this place is. Bangalore Palace. So we were trying to take a shot here. And of course, what you can see is the amazing detail that you can get. Right? The entire brick wall, each of these bricks can be made out perfectly. However, let's not forget that this is a dual autofocus pixel sensor. That means it's able to capture light a lot faster. That means less blurring. And this was a happy accident that at the same time, there was a helicopter passing by, and that also got captured. Now, that's not the focus point, right? But what's amazing is you do not see any blurring on the blades, right? And that's the magic that you get with this. Now, this is obviously during the day. Even during dusk, or when the lighting conditions are a little tougher, it does an incredible job. If you look at the detailing that you get on the lamp post, right, all of that has been preserved perfectly. Now let's go even further. Now let's look at the night shot. Now when you're looking at the low light, this is where your 1.4 micron pixel size really comes handy. If you look at this particular image, now this has been taken at night, and you can clearly see everything. Let me zoom in a bit and do what you love. Should obviously be a mantra for everyone. But this phone also does this really well. And while we were focusing on the signage, what you can also see is the magic of this sensor, because you can count each of the 129 LEDs in that traffic signal. And all that has also come in perfectly clear. I've counted 129. Yeah, so you take my word for it. So that's the main camera. And of course, it is a dual camera. That means you also get a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And the depth sensor comes in handy when you're doing portrait modes. So let me show you one portrait shot. Now this one is interesting because you've got a very bright shot and again a bright background where the sunlight is still falling. And if you go further closer, you can see that the edge detection is completely on point. So it's not missed any of that. There's no blurring that's happening. And that's where your secondary camera or the depth sensor is coming really handy. Now this is an AI dual camera. That means you also get AI scene detection, right, along with the portraiture. Now with AI scene detection, we've got 33 categories that the Redmi 8 can recognize on the fly while you're taking a photograph and auto-tune that image so that it gives you the best result for you to share. Of course, if you're in a garden and you're taking a picture of the grass or the flowers, it gives you the best possible picture. But even things like when you're doing food photography or you take capturing buildings, so the earlier building that you saw, which was the Bangalore Palace, may or may not have used the AI scene detection. It did. And then, of course, when you're taking smaller objects like flowers, it's able to kind of detect those flowers, boost up the colors, boost up the dynamic range, play around with the ISO. So you don't have to go into the pro mode every time. This camera ensures that you get the best possible picture every single time. And that's the AI dual camera. And we've tied up with Google, we've partnered with Google to make this a smarter camera. Right? The Google Lens on the Redmi 8 supports translation between 104 languages, which means, I'll give you a couple of examples. Now you are traveling to Bangalore, right? And you want to take the metro. You just point the camera towards the metro map and it'll auto-translate everything to English. So I might not know how to read Kannada, but now with the help of Google Lens and the power that Google brings to the table, you can do that. Not just that, suppose you're traveling to Hyderabad, right, and you see a sign which is in Telugu. Now it's able to detect that and translate that to English as well. And it's not just that. Suppose you know Kannada and you're traveling to Hyderabad, it will translate from Telugu to Kannada. Right? So it's the language that you need to know the most, and it'll translate everything else out there. Now that's two examples. Now, for example, you're traveling to, say, Barcelona. Right? There's Mobile World Congress, and you want to go there and just be on your own. It can also do from Catalan to English. So, like I said, there are 104 languages that give you that live translation, which unlocks a lot of potential. So next time you're traveling, you don't have to be afraid of what you come across. You know what you're seeing, and you're able to translate that live into your language, so you are never lost. And that's the power of Google Lens, and that comes on the Redmi 8. Now that's the back cameras, so AI dual cameras, and now with Google Lens, it also becomes smart. In the front, we've got an 8 megapixel AI selfie camera. Now that means with the AI, you get a portrait mode with just the front single camera. And there's an amazing job here where you can see the clarity as well as the blur that comes behind. Of course, it has AI, which means we've also added face unlock. So you just look at it and it unlocks. But for those, it also comes with the fingerprint sensor right at the back. It's right under the camera where it's really easy to reach. So that's about the cameras, and it is going to be the best in its price class, period. Now moving on, and this is something that I think right from the Redmi 3 time, it stood and has done really well, which is battery. And it's going to be a battery champion. So obviously I don't have to spell it out. It comes with 5,000 mAh. So that means you get 5,000 mAh of gaming, right? Or videos, or music. You choose what you want to do with that massive battery and buy time. Or what's really important to me, gaming. Recording, 11 hours of video recording. It's absolutely stunning. And that's just the hardware part of it, right? Let's talk about the software. The software or the AI enhancements that we've done for the battery makes it even better. So there's smart task management that happens in the background, which means that there's more power delivered to the apps that you're using more. And at the back, it keeps kind of reducing the entire focus that goes there. Net, you don't lose battery on the apps that you're not using in the background. And that's where it goes beyond any other 5,000 mAh phone that you would have known of. Now, along with this big battery, the other part is, how do you charge this battery? And of course, we at Xiaomi believe in innovation for everyone, and that's why this also comes with USB Type-C. So, with micro USB, it normally takes 3 tries to get it right. So you try it once, it doesn't go in, and then you try it the other way, it doesn't happen, and suddenly, magically, it'll always work on the third way. Uh, with USB-C, of course, along with other things, the good fun part is that you don't have to hunt around for the charging point. The other advantage that you get is you are now able to use the same charger and the same cable across all your devices. So if somebody in your house has a Redmi 8A or a Redmi 8 and you have a K20 or a K20 Pro, everyone can be sharing the same chargers. And that is something that, as a standard, we want to push in the industry. In fact, when we were looking at competition, and we were looking at which competition is actually adopting Type-C, we checked their websites. Now, some of this data might not be really accurate because they might not be updating their websites, but whatever we could find from the websites, Samsung is doing a decent job. They've got Type-C almost to about a 10,000 rupee mark. Oppo's cheapest phone is actually the Realme 5 Pro at 14,000 rupees. Everything else which has Type-C is higher than that. And Vivo actually starts at 17,000. Now, we would urge all our industry colleagues to push this standard forward and get Type-C to more and more phones. It just becomes easier for the consumers. Right? So that's Type-C. And of course, the Redmi 8A will support fast charging up to 18 watts as well. Right? It's got a 5000 mAh battery, and you want to charge faster. It comes with an inbox charger of 10 watts. So you will have to spend, I think, about 350 rupees on me.com if you want a higher charger. Now coming to the next part, which is how does it look? And people loved the Redmi 8A. Now this is the Redmi 8, which means that we have to step it up, right? So this is how it looks. Let me give you the first glimpse of the sapphire blue. And it looks absolutely stunning. So we've extended the Aura design philosophy that we had, and now we are calling this the Aura mirror design. It's a lot more shiny, and it really grabs your eyes. But if you're not into blue, then of course, there is the ruby red, and this looks stunning as well. And for the people who want a bit more classic looking phone, probably like me, or Manu's got a red, so I don't know. You have the Onyx Black. So all three colors together, all of them look absolutely stunning. Right? Now, we've spoken about the cameras and the battery and the design. There are a couple of things that make this the new all-round champion. The first is the performance. Now, it comes with Qualcomm Snapdragon 439, which is an octa-core chipset and can run pretty much everything that you have in your phone. Along with this, we are going to be offering up to 4 GB of RAM and up to 64 GB of storage on the Redmi 8. Of course, a dual SIM device, but it also did my slot. 500 and storage, and then you can also expand it to actually with you get to really enjoy, which we've had. Of course, it is a Redmi device. That means it has to do really well on quality. And from a quality perspective, this comes with splash-proof coating by P2i. Now, P2i is the industry leaders, and we have that on the Redmi 8. Again, pushing the entire envelope of innovation forward. And at the front, there's also protection coming in with Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Now, see, let me just clarify this. When you move from a Gorilla Glass 3 to a Gorilla, taken a lot more impact. A Gorilla Glass 5 means you can have up to 14 drops from a 1 meter height. of having. Talking about it, what you get in the box, right? So you obviously get the phone and you get the box, but you also get a 10-watt charger, you get a Type-C cable, the instruction manual and the SIM ejector tool. And now assured of how it fits and the Redmi 8, and move on to the price. Kumar Jain.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anuj. So it feels great to be here, and thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. So this is the amazing Redmi 8 for all of you guys. This has an incredible camera, a 12 plus 2 megapixel, powered by Sony IMX363. It has a massive, massive 5000 mAh battery with Type-C charging, supports up to 18-watt fast charge. Qualcomm Snapdragon 439, dot-notch display, it has face unlock, fingerprint sensor, almost everything that you would expect from an all-rounder device. It is also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5, P2i, and a case inside the box. Now, we are launching two different variants, the 3GB, 32GB variant, and the 4GB, 64GB variant. Now, the important thing to note is, since the beginning of Redmi number series, which is Redmi 1S, Redmi 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we always had a 2GB variant. In the beginning, 1GB, and starting Redmi 2 Prime, a 2GB variant. And for the first time, we are letting go of 2GB variant. So we only have 3GB and 4GB, 3GB, 32GB, and 4GB, 64GB. So let's go to the price of each one of them. The first one, which is 3GB, 32GB variant. Any guesses? Okay, I'll just quickly go through it. So the price of 3GB, 32GB variant is 7,999 rupees. Thank you. And the 4GB, 64GB variant is being launched at 8,999. But all the people who are sitting in this room and all our Mi fans who are watching us live, we were able to overcome these obstacles, and we were able to do a fairly good job, or a decent job. And we have been now the #1 brand for last 2 years, last 8 consecutive quarters. And this 5 of 50,000 phones every single day during these last 5 years. Now, in order to celebrate this special just 5 years, we have a very special gift for not just people sitting. This is something only one brand has done in the history of Indian smartphone, industry, which was Xiaomi. Where this is something that we did with Redmi 5, 1,000 rupee discount for Redmi 8, which means everybody who buys a 3GB, 32GB variant, a 3GB. Thank you. So where can you buy Redmi 8? It will be available very soon, in just 3 days from now, on 12th of October at 0001 hours on Mi.com, Mi Home Stores, and our partner Flipkart.com. Now, we said we have few surprises. That was the first surprise. We'll ensure that your Diwali is great. So we have one more surprise for all of you guys, all our Mi fans. Just take a look at this picture and tell us, what do you see? Note every single detail. Okay. So yes, I can tell all of you guys that we will have a great, great Diwali, and the 64 megapixel quad cam beast is coming very soon, in just 1 week from now, exactly 1 week from now, on 16th of 2019. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, everybody. And a special thanks to all our Mi fans who have been watching us live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.